I know I use that sound quite a bit at the beginning, but it's always worth it. And welcome to another episode of Business Party Podcast. And welcome back, Davey. How are you, motherfucker?
Ice cold beer never broke my heart. I am okay.
Right on.
It is what it is, my friend.
Still breathing.
I'm still alive. God let me touch the ground again today, so I am here. What happened? I'm wearing this hat in honor of Jason Aldean taking out the BLM, and caving to the people who wanted it, but leaving Antifa. I don't know, man. It's so stupid. It is so stupid, and TikTok is just full of people with Jason. Once again, do we not remember how Trump got voted in?
Come on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Words. I'm not good with those things.
Oh no, I was saying that over there, but also fuck,
yeah. Do we not know how Trump got in as president? They took it and they just went, he's this, he's that, he's this and that, and people are just like, well, maybe we can have this and that in. They did this. They did that. That's what they're doing to Jason Aldean. They pushed him up.
Right.
He got what, number 2?
Right, and like the whole thing we were saying kind of before that.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Like for him to take it out at all, I don't care who he's trying to please or anything else. Like, I've seen people like make comments on this, like saying he was trying to please YouTube or some other blah. I don't say no. Fuck that. Like I don't give a fuck. He already has enough money. Why would he give a fuck? We don't give a fuck. We'll say whatever we want on YouTube and shit. Like he just caved.
I'm sorry. Who watches music videos anymore? I didn't even know they still made music videos anymore.
Yeah,
the only music videos that I've ever seen are from Tom McDonald because he only posts on YouTube.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's the only place you're gonna find them. Many of them, really.
Yeah.
You know what would be great though? You know how Spotify has like that little clip that you put behind the music?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you just put that BLM clip behind the music. That's all you see. That'd be great if you just douched out and just been like, yep, you know what? I'm gonna put it there. Right. Forget it. You guys wanted me to take it out. I took it out of the video, and now I'm just gonna troll and put it right there. So now every time you listen to it on Spotify, that's the scene you see.
That would be funny. That would be pretty funny.
In that article, did it say did he give a reason as to why?
I don't think so.
No, he just did the blinky thing where he said, "I'm not going to respond to that." Kim Jean Pierre Galson, whatever her name is.
Follow it. Hold on. Yeah, we'll go through it. I read a little bit of it, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Here we go. Aldean's song discusses civil unrest and features themes and references to small town America. The music video similarly features actual footage from riots, along with other security footage and civil unrest. Following controversy surrounding the song's lyrical content and imagery, 6 seconds of Fox 5 Atlanta's coverage of Black Lives Matter BLM riot have been quietly removed from the video. The edited segments were originally projected on the exterior of the Maury County Courthouse in Tennessee. Critics of Aldean's song noted an 18-year-old black man was publicly hanged outside the courthouse nearly 100 years ago. The footage was edited due to third-party copyright clearance issues. Oh, really?
Oh, okay. So then I can't get mad. I'm not gonna get mad at that. I'll be honest. I'm not going to get mad at them at it.
How is it copyright though?
It's probably YouTube was like, you can't do it because YouTube is YouTube, right? And
gay?
Yeah, because YouTube doesn't want you to see that. But the Antifa one, everything else is okay. But you can't besmirch a certain kind of people who keep telling you that they're being held down, every day. And it's not all of them. It's just the loud, people who are just like, we're being segregated against, but we want a separate graduation. You're like, wait a minute, hold on. Whoa,
yeah.
What you guys? What's going on here? My internet's messed up again.
And it was only 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
6 seconds. I'm not gonna get mad at it. That's why I wanted to know. I was like, did they give a reason as to why? because if that's truly the reason, I can't get mad at that.
YouTube sucks. You hear that, YouTube? As we're on here, you suck.
I wonder if he even has. Whoa.
What?
Nothing. The color on my screen got all weird. I hate when it does that. I think I just did something strange. Sorry.
Jackie's ruined her computer.
I know. It happened. I do weird things.
But yeah, no, you're right. If that's the reason why, then you can't blame them, because they're gonna take the whole video down. If you got to take out those, those couple seconds and whatever. Right. It is what it is. You don't know,
like, in his contract or anything with like a label or something, he has to have like a particular amount of views or whatever for songs, or I don't know.
He probably gets paid for views and stuff like that. Yeah. But whatever. I mean, the courthouse thing is the stupidest thing in the world, because it was in Miley Cyrus's movie, it was in a Hallmark movie, and they're just looking, and people wouldn't know any of that if the LED television didn't tell them. It wouldn't be a problem if the television god didn't tell them it was a problem. Nobody would have cared. So it's just like, guys, and then they're like, well, it's footage from around the world. Yeah, you're making his point. He's talking about everything. He's not just talking about a certain segment of people. Mm-hmm. He's talking about everything. And everybody's like, well, everybody knows what he means by good old boy. And then I saw a tweet.
Not everybody does, to be honest. What the fuck do you think they mean? That like, I hate when everybody. That's like when people say we. Like, who the fuck is we? Not me. Like, I don't understand that. Like, why you saying
we? When they like when you say something and they're like, well, not all this certain races or all this certain ethnic background is like this, and then they go, well, white tea people are all bad, inherently racist. You're like, wait, how do you say that?
As soon as I hear white tea, I stop listening. I cannot take you seriously as a person.
What the fuck is that? I saw that the other day, and someone in the comment section, I was like, what the hell is YT? Why are they talking about YouTube or the Young Turks?
Yeah, right.
Well,
right. I mean, it's exactly the first time I saw it was YouTube, but it's supposed to be white people, but it's just YT is what they say. It's
YT
the stupidest
people
fucking shit.
They say they get banned if they say white people, and it's like,
no, you don't.
And then they go on this racist.
They're not talking about the Young Turks then.
And then they go on this racist tirade about how napkin people and mayo monsters and all this, and then they start, and then just like, it's like, wait a minute, we're talking about, well, I can't be racist, and then I saw another one where the guy's like, why should I care about white people's feelings? Like, okay, you're just a piece of shit.
I don't care. Don't.
Yeah, you're just a piece of shit.
Do you ever know the sign language sign for cracker?
What?
It's pretty offensive. You put your arm up and you cracker, right? It was like, is it because the lady was white that was doing it, and it was made me laugh. I'm teaching my kid baby sign language, so she did it. She's like, cracker, and I was like, I'm such a child. I start laughing. I thought it was hilarious.
I want to learn sign language. I really do. My grandmother used to think I was so dumb that she thought I only understood sign language, so she used to speak to me in sign language. Because she was a sign language
At first, it was
teacher.
just a lot of flipping me off, and then
there was a lot of just
a lot of that and a lot of the bird, and then all of a sudden it turned into words. I have no idea.
I thought she was saying thank you so much, but apparently she wasn't.
But yeah, man, it's so stupid, man. You want to talk about a division, and it's not everybody. That's the thing. It's like everybody online. It's the people online who would never really say that to people in person. Like the same people who come into lives and just shout the N-word and just call, people certain things. Like, you wouldn't do that if they were standing right in front of you. Like, you're behind a screen, so you'll say it. I live here. Yeah, I live here. I'm not gonna come to fucking Cleveland, Ohio to fucking commit a crime. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that quite a bit online. Like, you want to come here and do some shit? Like, yeah, I'm gonna travel half the country just because you're being a fucking douche. Shut the fuck up. Like,
I'm not going to the middle of fucking Texas to get buried in the middle of Yellowstone. Sorry.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going there to bury you. If you want to come to me, I will bury you here.
Yeah,
like the money on
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Listen, you don't make me mad enough to spend $200 to drive 100 and something miles. Okay, I'm not doing it.
No,
I'm not doing it. I don't care. You can
Give
say
me a
whatever
good
you
reason.
want. You can say whatever
you
you
guys
want.
do like the whole like commenting, Twitter, tweeting, Xing thing. I don't. I just watch. I never reply on anything.
I love it.
And if
I especially
do, then you know that it's important to me.
Right. Oh, I especially love
like,
it now.
At it.
Well, like trying to be funny and just getting like certain reactions, whatever else. Like Twitter is like more of the Wild West again, but I guess like in the past couple days, there's been quite a few people who have been getting suspended and shit, and I don't know why. Like it, but now quite a few are back again. It seems to happen in weird waves.
Because I think what it is the algorithm. It's not a person. I don't think it's a person doing it. I think it's the AI is just picking up certain words, because I think that's what Elon said. It just picks up certain words certain amount of times and then you get banned, or certain things certain amount of times. Like anytime I put up a YouTube clip on TikTok, it goes nowhere.
Yeah, but he can fix that already. God damn it, he has enough money to fucking do it. Like there's guys who got suspended that are back on within a day because they kept getting tagged with Elon. They were pretty popular, so it's like it's not just like if it's certain words or whatever else, but then it's not that bad, then fix your shit. Like you already did that with like all the people you got rid of. You're that fucking smart, have that much money. Like, and also why did you hire that one bitch that came in that is definitely not on the side of free speech? So like,
but don't they have like 18 employees now or something? Like they fired everybody. You know, got like the skeleton crew right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not making excuses. I think he's a sheep in wolves and
I do too.
Or a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Absolutely, I do too.
Sheep in wolves clothing. The other
well, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah.
Yeah,
but no, I absolutely do too.
I trust anybody as far as I can throw them. So,
but I don't mind like if he's gonna do whatever he can for the app to actually make it free speech, then do it. But you keep preaching this shit and it ain't showing. But I keep wanting to push it though, also because I think it could be better than Patreon and whatever else, because there's so many fucking users there. Everyone who has a fucking podcast at all pretty much has a fucking Twitter account. Yeah. So it could be easier to make paid content.
Be a delicate balance though, because with all the other social media companies, they will get special treatment when it comes to the government. And Twitter's like, nope, fuck you guys. But let's see like what's gonna happen now. Like
you also gotta remind he's gotta make it revenue friendly too. You know, like as much as it pissed me off, like all of a sudden now the Krasenstein brothers who hate Elon Musk, now that they got a payday, are all of a sudden replying to every single fucking tweet. And you're just like, oh, would you shut up?
They're fucking
You're just doing it for money, dude. You're not.
You're like, Elon Musk is, he's a bad, terrible guy, but he gave me money, so we're good now. Like, but I still think he's a terrible guy. What do you guys think?
Shut your fucking midget mouth.
Are they really short?
Oh God, are they short? They're 3 inches taller than the fucking than the Lollipop Guild. They're 3 little fucking
Kevin Hart.
They're like
Kevin Hart towers over those two.
Oh my God! Well, I looked it up. Kevin Hart is only 5'2".
Yeah,
is he really?
Like
he's a tiny dude.
Wow,
I could toss him.
Really...
I think that'd be a hate crime. I don't know, but I think that'd be a hate crime.
I'll take it. It'd still be fun. I think he would do it too. He'd be like, "Hey, do it."
Dude, if I was Kevin Hart, I would only date 6 foot and above women. Just
fucking climbing trees and shit. Dude, hey, what's up, girl?
Because from what I heard, it's hanging down past his knee. From what I heard, so
who?
Listen, I listened to Jim and Sam and Patrice O'Neal, and when Patrice O'Neal was alive, him and Kevin Hart were like best friends. And like Patrice O'Neal would be like, yeah, no, little Kev's swinging, man. Kev's got that big D energy. And like, so like, and everybody's like seen it. Listen, a lot of guys.
So it's like mini tripod
stuff. Oh yeah, that's what I heard. Okay. But like, yeah, so I'd be only dating 6 foot and above women. Just watch this. I'm gonna chop this tree down. But I know. Oh man. But yeah, I mean.
Oh, I was gonna say, how did we get on that subject? My fault. Sorry, guys.
Woo-hoo.
Woo-hoo.
But yeah, man, we got to stop. I really do. Like, people do it just, and it's only for money. That's why people do it online. I was in the live, we were just having a nice civil conversation, and they're like, how come there's nobody in here? And I'm like, because we're not yelling at each other about race and stupid shit. If we were sitting here yelling at each other about how, you know, you're darker than me or I'm darker than you and this and that and this and that.
Right.
You know,
well, it's like, guess what sells? Sex and hit stop. Drama, blood, anything like that. Like, if you're having a good time and you're not trying to fucking draw anybody in about certain shit, nobody gives a fuck.
No.
Especially these days. Any sort of revenue maker, social media wise, or anything like that. Well, the only thing that's like that will draw people in is the chicks with like rocks and tarot cards.
Oh, God. Listen, one of our friends does tarot cards.
Yeah.
They're very attracted to me on TikTok for some reason. I talked to one of them. They're like, hey, honey, you want a private reading? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? They're like, all right, well, how are you going to pay me? I was like, I don't pay people on shit. He said, you came to me.
You came to me, bitch. Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you for it. You asked me.
I know. You asked me.
Well, that's like
I don't DM people. Like,
well, that's like in the city when you walk around, the guy gives you a CD and he signs. He's like, all right, now $15. It's like, wait a minute, you put it in my hand. He's like, no, $15. And you're like, but I didn't ask you for it. Yo, bro, it's $15. Right. It's got my signature and your name on it.
Like, hey, guess what? It's actually 15 yards away. So I'll talk to you later.
TikTok is a wild. Like I said, the last couple of days, ever since the Jason Aldean thing, it's just, you just scroll through the lives and it's Jason Aldean's picture on it, and behind it is just like good old boys. It means racist. Look at, he's saying good old boys, and then the other people are like, yeah, try that in my hometown. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Woohoo! Yay! You know, like the Yosemite Sam. But it's like, dude, like. And then everybody's like, you know, well, rap music this, well, rap music that, well, country music.
Yeah, exactly. All it's doing is stoking a bunch of bullshit.
That's it. And then, you know, just to,
well, like you said, guess what? Was he? No, yesterday, Bob. What did he say? Like, all you had to do was like not talk about it. And that's what I said about Trump too. Like, all it just had to be there. Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I said that. You didn't have, if no one said anything, he would have gotten like what, to number 6, and then it would have been gone. It would have been gone.
Been gone, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and now you see these stupid fucking Shannon Watts, that twat for Mom's Demand. All of a sudden, she thinks she's special now because she got him canceled from one of his concerts, and now she's trying to get him canceled from another one. Like, dude,
good luck, lady.
Like. These people think that they are so fucking powerful, and the power just runs to people's heads.
Who did it?
Shannon Watts, the ladies from Mom.
Shannon Watts, white lady.
Yes.
Yeah, white liberal lady.
Yeah.
The usual, offended on everybody's behalf for no fucking reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I have white privilege, and I'm so privileged. Then give away your money. Give everything away. Give all the money you have away. Give your house away. Give your kids away. Give your husband away, and just do it for free. Do it for free. No, you're not, are you? You won't, will you? They're just all fake, dude. They're all fake, and I'm sick and tired of the people just listening to this fake nonsense bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care. Like, I don't listen to to people, and I'm not going to do what people tell me to do. I do what I want. If you have a good argument for it, I'll go, yeah, you got a good argument for it. If you don't have a good argument, I go, that's kind of stupid, but I'm not going to listen to, that's a cult. I'm sorry.
Well, then are we going to listen to any sort of a good argument as to why Hunter shouldn't be fucking completely put in jail?
Well, I mean,
how about we segue to some of that?
I mean, if the mouthpiece of the White House never has anything to say about anything that she's supposed to have anything to say about, I don't fucking get it. This lady answers no questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised she's still. Why is my computer changing colors?
Oh, is your screen still fucking with you? Get out of here, FBI agent. Fuck off.
I know. I told Todd to take the day off, but he never listens. But for those who don't know and don't know me, I joke about Todd for like 3 years now.
Todd's her FBI agent that's watching her.
Is my FBI
Brian.
Guy?
Mine's Dante.
Brian.
Get the fuck out of here, Brian.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go on. Yeah, I was gonna say we're starting to talk a little bit about hunters. So,
like, I just like this whole thing is just so fucking bizarre. And now all of a sudden, wait a minute. Now all of a sudden, this judge is the god queen. Like, guys, can we fucking stop putting people on these pedestals? Can we stop already? Like she's doing what she's supposed to do. She's following.
No, that's the whole thing. Yeah, like every time that something happens, whenever like the Supreme Court or a judge like this makes a decision that goes with the Constitution, they either like prop them up like they're fucking gods, or they think that, or they call them religious zealots, which makes no fucking sense. They are going with the law and the Constitution, how it should be. Why the fuck does that become a political issue, or even like all of a sudden a religious thing, or any sort of anything like that? It's fucking ridiculous. It just clearly shows and states that nobody either gives a fuck A about the Constitution or cares to understand it. B.
No, they don't. A and B. It's C. Yeah. They don't care about it, and it only when it affects them. Like, I just don't understand. The same people who were arguing for George Floyd, who was arguing for Philando Castile, who was arguing for Ahmaud Arbery, all these people were arguing that the cops are bad and this and that, are now arguing that Hunter Biden shouldn't go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Are you out of your mind? Like, what?
Yeah, hold on. Let me bring up the hold on.
CNN.
Well, no, hold on. For goodness sakes. I'm having issues today.
Having technical difficulties.
I'm having difficulties today. So the reason why I chose a CNN article is because if they're saying it for the Hunter Biden thing, because they like to try and kind of like brush things under the rug, then they're actually reporting on something. Anyway, so it says Hunter Biden's hearing ends after judge is not ready to accept revised plea deal.
By the way, I did not know that you could do this as a judge. Just be like, nah, I don't think this is a good idea.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I kind of I respect it a little bit.
There we go.
So it said Hunter Biden failed to pay between $1 million and $1.5 million in federal taxes before legal deadlines, and was poised to plead guilty on 2 tax charges, with prosecutors agreeing to recommend a sentence of probation. But before the original plea could be entered, the deal began to unravel, and a revised agreement reached during the hearing was not accepted by the judge. She said that she couldn't accept the plea today, and she had concerns about the parties seemingly linking the tax plea agreement to resolving a felony gun charge, which is good because it's a felony gun charge.
Right.
And during the proceedings, prosecutors confirmed that the investigation into Biden was ongoing. So there's still an investigation going on aside from the tax stuff.
Which is Biden. That what is it?
Foreign
agent.
The foreign to register as a foreign. He failed to register as a foreign agent.
Right. And so from what I heard from Tim Pool, because he was reading another article, was that the plea agreement, his defense team had asked the prosecutors if the FARA, or the judge had asked whether or not that the agreement included FARA, like any other ongoing investigations, that he would be, that if he pleads guilty, that they won't go along, like basically that investigation's done and he can't get charged for that. And they said no, and the prosecutor said no, that's not in this plea agreement. And then his defense attorneys were like, whoa. I thought that was in it so you could squash any future charges there would be when it came to FARA too, which was insane. Right. Anyway, so after negotiations, the president's son then agreed to plead guilty to the 2 tax charges in a deal that only includes conduct related to the tax offenses, drug use, and gun possession. The 2 sides agree that this deal does not shield him from potential future charges, but the judge wasn't satisfied. So she still wasn't satisfied with it then. And then said, like, what if this is unconstitutional? She has to do her due diligence and due deliverance and consideration to make sure we don't make a mishap. After the discussion, Hunter Biden entered a not guilty plea. So while the investigation was ongoing, then they talk about how she's a Trump judge, but she had like unanimously was confirmed by the Senate. Yeah. So that was it.
Yeah, I hate how they say, like, who cares who they're appointed by? Like, it still has to be.
It shouldn't matter. No, but it does.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Because they say that all the time, and they do it all the time. Because they go, the Florida judge? It's like, well, she was appointed by Trump, and like, who cares?
It shouldn't fucking matter at all.
No. It shouldn't, but like I said, it does.
Because 2 people, it does.
Yeah, well, no, but it also does because
Amy Coney Barrett hasn't gone with the way that Trump would have wanted her to a couple times. So I don't think it totally does matter.
When it comes to some of these judges and different things like that, though, the funding that they get from is like, that's what people are talking about when the whole George Soros thing.
Yeah.
Them getting funded by, so it shouldn't matter. But that's kind of why it does. But anyway, this one's actually was one that I actually read this morning that I thought was kind of crazy when it came to the Hunter Biden case. But it was talking about a bizarre legal clash between a top Republican lawmaker and Hunter Biden's lawyers, which erupted on the eve of his court appearance, did not come up at Wednesday's hearing. So the dispute revolves around whether a member of Hunter Biden's legal team lied to the court about her identity so they could remove a Tuesday filing from GOP Rep. Jason Smith of the House Ways and Means Committee chair that alleged political interference in the probe. In a late twist, the judge threatened to sanction Biden's lawyers over the matter, but they denied the claims. And they called the incident an unintentional miscommunication by the court staff.
Bullshit.
Now, what's funny about what's funny about that though is that the lady that they're talking about, like that there was like a miscommunication, who works for Biden's attorneys, they tried to minimize like how important her role is, and like how like they try to make it seem like she didn't know what she was doing. But she has really great standing with the New York City Bar Association.
Oh, she knew exactly what she was trying to do. She was trying to bullshit them.
Yeah. So, and then I read something from another attorney that said, unfortunately though, which is really fucked up in the judicial system though, that doing something like that, like what she did, isn't uncommon.
Yeah.
Like lying to the court to like get files and papers taken out of court.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Like they called and pretended to be the prosecution to get paperwork out of the court. Like, are you what?
That sounds like some shit that you would have heard like from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like some lawyer trying to fucking dupe somebody on there. Like
Charlie's trying to. Yeah, this is Sergeant Tackleberry. I need that evidence from the evidence room. You know, the one with the guys from the Patty's bar. Yeah, I need that evidence. Like,
well, they're saying that like, so the chick called the court and said, "Hey, I need this filing removed," and the court clerk was like, "Okay, well, what's the number? What is it that you need removed?" She's like, I don't know." And then she's like, "I'll find out and I'll get back to you." And then this is what the woman
That's
said.
Hilarious.
Okay, and so then the woman said that the court clerk's office called her back, and automatically they knew exactly what filing and what number and everything that she needed taken out. But it wasn't the same woman that she had talked to before at the clerk's office. And I was like, something smells rotten.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's all fucking shady. And the fact that people are still on their side and like thinking that this is a good idea and this is good for them, you're just dumb. I'm sorry. I was just reading another CBS, the NBC article, or was it right? CNBC article? Nope. Saying that another guy got 5 years in jail for it. Yeah. The charge was resulted in serious possession time. In another case, a 23-year-old from Waterloo, Iowa, was recently sentenced to another 5 years in federal prison for possessing as a drug user, while another 23-year-old in Lincoln, Nebraska, received 3 years in federal prison on the charge. So
yeah, because I think the max is like up to like 10 years.
Yeah,
you can face up to 10 years in prison for that charge.
For your first offense. Here, they're trying to tie in his not paying taxes, which the whistleblowers said that, hey, if you don't pay your taxes and then you pay your taxes, it's like if you stole something and then later on, a couple years later, go by and you go, hey, I didn't pay for this. I stole this a couple years ago. Here's the money for it. They're like, no, you still stole it. So he still did what he did something illegal. Time passed, which now they're saying that they were slow rolled after, on Capitol Hill. Oh, I gave Director Ray. I gave them everything they needed. I told them to do whatever they wanted. These guys are just fucking liars. They're liars.
Well,
absolutely.
It's insane that all this is going on after the IRS whistleblowers had their hearing in the committee last week. Right? And the whistleblowers, and one of them, as everyone likes to point out, and I'm going to point out too, is a gay Democrat.
Yeah.
And he pointed out himself. He's like, listen, I am gay and a Democrat.
And a lifelong Democrat.
Yeah. And they're like, the reason why we blew the whistle on this because it didn't smell right. It didn't pass the smell test. They weren't doing things with proper protocol and everything. Why are you laughing?
Because a gay man blew a whistle and it didn't smell right.
Yeah. It's kind of funny.
It wasn't unintentional. Just the way you said everything. It just...
And he blew the whistle.
And the gay man blew the whistle and it just didn't smell right. Yeah, I mean, all this shit is happening. It's like I forget who put out the tweet. Was just like, I think it was probably Maze who put out a tweet. Not the rapper, the Twitter guy or X guy, whatever it is. Maze? No, Maze, Maze. I think it was him. But he's like, the left. I need proof. Well, here's Joe Biden telling them that they didn't fire the prosecutor, that they weren't getting the money. well, he said it was Barack Obama. Well, Trump did the same thing, and he sets foreign policy. Well, no, I need more proof that Joe was bad. Well, his son had a laptop, and then he lied to say that everybody in the FBI said that they weren't going after his son when they were going after his son, and he knew it, and he just lied. Well, no, I need more proof. Well, then he said he never had any business dealings with Hunter's business associates, and then there was photos of him with the business associates, and then, but no, I need more proof. Well, then his son threw out a gun, and then it's just like, how much fucking proof do you need until you're just disingenuous? I don't give a shit. If it was Trump's kid too, go to fucking jail. If you're gonna put Trump in jail and impeach him over the quid pro quo, then Biden gets the same treatment. That's what I don't give a shit if it's Trump, it's not Trump, it's fucking DeSantis, it's anybody. If you're gonna do it for one side, do it for the fucking other. That's what I'm fucking pissed about. And once again, Trump was right. They're not after me. They're after you, because they're going to come after people, just normal everyday people. Look at the January 6th thing. Look at the video that just came out about the guy who said he was beaten and all that. And now all of a sudden there's a video of him just fine. And then he sat there in front of Congress and said he was beaten to the point where he was almost unconscious. Yet there's video of him walking around for 7 minutes with nothing after he was beaten.
Yeah.
They just fucking lie, and then people just run with it, and the news tells you, and then these people just go, that's what happened. I mean, look at the lady that fucking got kidnapped.
Oh my God. All right, so when I was listening to you and Kelly last Friday talk about it, I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then I finally read about it, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know about that story, right, Biz?
What?
So this lady claimed that she was kidnapped.
Oh yeah, I do know about that. Yeah,
it was all over TikTok. Everybody, they set up. I believe they set up a GoFundMe that was that reached $60,000. She was kidnapped when she was looking for a little white kid on the side of the road, and dude, Twitter went crazy with the memes. Crazy with the memes.
Well,
and and it turned out to be fucking, and everybody was just like, no, we gotta find her, blah, 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 blah. And then it turns out she was at she bought a prepaid card.
No, it was a total lie. Everything was a total lie.
And now everybody's turning around and going the same thing with the Hunter Biden clip we played last week, where they're like, oh, they got to do something to investigate the cocaine. Oh, they dropped they dropped the investigation. They said nothing was well, then they did their job. Shut the fuck up. The same thing. Now everybody's like, well, we should give her peace and quiet. Obviously, she has something wrong with her. She was at a fucking hotel doing her nails and fucking hanging out and buying food.
Yeah. What she has wrong with her is being a fucking a piece of shit. That's what she is.
A narcissistic asshole.
Yeah. That's about it.
Oh man.
She's about a piece of shit. But yeah, but this is the thing, is people don't I hate the hypocrisy. I really do. And it's just getting to the point where it's just like, dude, guys, shut the fuck up already. Because you're not gonna make any waves, and
it's the whole outrage culture thing, being outraged about this, that, and everything. I know, and the thing is that I'll even say too, I get caught up in it as well.
I do too.
Okay, I'm not guilty of it, but I know that there's a lot of times where I have to sit back and be like, okay, what is really going on? Like with the Jason Aldean thing, we just did, well, all right, I need to know more. Before I get mad, give me more,
Yeah,
because I feel a lot of times,
yeah,
there's a lot of just little clips here and there, just the initial reaction out of people, that if you dig just a little bit deeper, then you're just oh, well, this is just, all right, this is nonsense. They're just trying to get people mad.
I'm sorry.
You have a visceral reaction.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if you say good old boy and the first person you think of is white, I think you're the problem. Because
Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small.
Like most people's first thought is gonna try to be like some good old fat southern white dude, whatever else, but that ain't it. That just
no.
The good old boys come in all shades and fucking yeah.
And like people are like,
I got a soft spot in my heart for country boys. I'll tell you that.
So do I.
All right, Brokeback fucking maker over here.
But no, like I forget, I was in another live and some guy was talking and dude was dressed just like that and everything like that. And it's just like, dude, I want to know. And then he was showing videos of like these backwood parties, and it was like all mix of people, all different kinds of colors and everything like that. And I'm like, I want to go. Where's that?
Right.
Where is that? Because that looks like a shit ton of fun.
In the middle of nowhere, Florida.
No, it's like in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska.
Where I would say, yeah, or Oklahoma or some shit.
Yeah. But it's like people just automatically just get one thing in their head and then they call you the racist. Like,
yeah.
Like you've never seen, like I grew up in North Carolina. I know when they say good old boys. But did you grow up in Texas? Did you grow up in Nebraska? Did you grow up in Oklahoma?
Well, that's the thing with like when people don't really go around to too many areas, the general consensus or perception that's put off to people is just seems to be what guides people's thoughts on certain ways that areas are or people are or whatever else. Like that just seems to be how it is. And I mean, it can keep getting broke if people actually go around and talk to motherfuckers instead of just fucking seeing bullshit online and being fed bullshit. Yes, absolutely. But no, I mean, it really is a general consensus or not consensus, but perception, should say.
Yeah.
It's what you see on television.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's what television perceives people as. Sorry.
I was born in Philly. Spent most of my growing up years in
West
Florida.
Philadelphia, born and raised. Lake Island is where I spent most of my days. Sorry.
Yeah. And then I lived in North Carolina, and I've lived in Tennessee. I've lived in Ohio. Like I've lived up and down the East Coast pretty much. Okay. And I have to tell you what, I love the South so much. The people are the best. The most racist people I've ever met in my life live up north.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Once and it's because people watch like TV and movies. It's so funny.
Yeah,
like if you watch TV, it'll be the white dude that's a sexual predator. The black dude will be the gangster.
And the first one to die in horror movies too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but it's like what people see on television and they don't go experience life. Once again, like I said, out here, I've seen more diverse people. I've seen more Patrick Mahomes out here than I did back in Jersey. It's every kid looks like little Patrick Mahomes, and it's nobody cares. Nobody cares. Back in Jersey, even my sister was just like, you should see the looks I get, because my nieces are Jamaican and my brother-in-law is Jamaican, and like, so he's like midnight and she's like, you should see the looks I get. And I'm like, why? Because you're a Puerto Rican with a Jamaican? Like, okay, but where do you go to get these looks? Oh yeah, you're in the middle of the hood getting these looks from people. And it's like, come on, like the world is bigger than just the metropolitan areas. Like it really is. And everybody is so nice.
And so is the thought process. That's the other thing too, is like the world's much bigger than that, but it's they also the thought process to be like, not that's not the that's not the perception in many different areas.
No.
It just
No. Like back
I highly suggest that people go watch this guy Peter
13 Years a Slave.
Santinello. No, Peter Santinello on YouTube. He does like long form things, but he goes to all these different types of communities. Like the one that I was just watching was him in Appalachia, and like meeting people from like West Virginia and the Appalachian Mountains and stuff like that in coal country. And he just just hangs out with them and just like figures out like what their lives are like. He did it with like the Hasidic Jewish community in New York City. He did it with like an Amish group, I believe in Ohio. Like he goes and just talks to people in their environment. And it's great to watch because like we're talking about, there's all these preconceived notions because of media, TV, things like that we're taught from a very young age, because that's what we see, that, you know, when you actually see someone go out into these communities, you learn something and it just opens up your eyes more.
Like back in Philly, if you held the door open for somebody, would they say anything to you?
No,
never. Back in Jersey, same thing. You held the door open for somebody, wouldn't say a fucking word. Here, everybody, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you, man.
Oh, where
thank
I'm
you.
at, yeah, where
You're
I'm
awesome,
at in
man.
Indiana, I generally get a thank you or or like a head nod or
yeah. Back in Jersey, they'd have looked at you like either A, why are you holding the door for me? I can do it myself. Or B, just put their head down and just walk straight through. Here, they want to talk to you in the toilet. I don't want to fucking talk in the toilet.
Yeah,
I don't have a conversation.
Yeah.
The food's good here, ain't it? I'm trying to let I'm trying to get rid of some of the food here, pal. Can we stop talking, Clyde? I really don't want to have this conversation.
But what if you needed him to spare a square? Like,
listen,
could you do it?
Once in a while, I need a spare shit ticket. I do.
Spare shit.
I really do. But I mean, it's just like, I don't know, man. This whole race thing is just so, it's getting so out of hand and so stupid. And it's these people on television and on the internet who are telling you that people are racist by just the, and it's like one guy I heard was saying, well, he said it's about a shine downtown. And I'm like, where in the lyrics does it say shine downtown? He goes, or sundown town. He goes, it's sundown. I go, and somebody goes, where in the lyrics does it say it's a sundown town? Well, it's implied. Well, then it doesn't say it. And how do you know it's implied? Okay, so if I'm listening to a rap song and it says I'm gonna get this bitch pregnant, then I'm gonna leave her, fuck her, then I'm gonna kill her, like, is it implied that he's gonna stay, have a child with her, and get a house with a picket fence? Is that what he's trying to imply?
There's
anybody listen to the song Stan? Come on,
right?
Oh, Stan. Did you hear the song Kim? Oh,
dude,
my God.
There's a song with Kid Rock where he talks about supposedly some call it statutory, I call it mandatory, and that's about like underage girls. But yet people are still supporting Kid Rock. Fuck that fag, man. I don't give a shit about him.
I don't care.
He smells. He looks like he smells like BO and cigarettes. Like,
yeah, he does.
He really does.
I don't give a shit about that dude.
I don't give, to be honest, I don't give a shit about anybody with money, really. Like, if I'm not gonna go with your views because you have money. Like, if you have the same views as me, cool. And that's the same thing with friendships. Like, if we have the same views or we can have a civil conversation, yo, I'm chill. I don't care. But if you start with I'm being held and I'm being this, or these people are no good, these people don't, they always steal. Like, I don't want to fucking, like, and I don't want to deal with you. If we can laugh and have a conversation and joke about shit, yeah, it's cool. My favorite joke is there's a black guy and a Puerto Rican in the backseat of a car. Who's driving? The cops.
Yeah.
Okay. It's my favorite joke. What's black and white and smells bad? A Puerto Rican. It's like those are my favorite jokes. I don't care. And if we can just laugh and have a good time, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Man. I'm so sick and tired of people like, well, you're supposed to only hang out with these people. You're supposed to. Why?
It's fucking stupid.
Why just hang around? Because so that way everybody is in agreement with each other, and then later on in a couple years you just have separate towns, and then you just fight each other's towns. Like,
well, that's like a whole bunch of this fucking. Well, I mean, the douchebaggery started a few years ago when people are like, "Well, I can't be friends with liberals if I'm conservative," and it's the other way. I can't be friends with conservative if I'm a liberal. But shut the fuck up. Yeah. You're a fucking asshole. That's so dumb. Like, so you're just gonna live in your echo chamber and never learn anything and just be a fucking caveman of your own thinking. Okay, got it. Yeah.
And not have civil conversations about things and like understand why they have that viewpoint. And hey, Who knows? You could change my mind about something. You could not change my mind about something.
Not even change your mind. Not even change your mind. Give you an understanding.
Yeah.
Because like when it comes to me, like with some of my friends, that I actually have socialist friends that like socialism and think that it could work. Okay, and we've had talks about it. I'm like, it's great and all on paper. And there could be ways to try to work it through, but here's the thing that always comes with all of it is that it's government ran and blah blah blah. And so it's like you can understand more with people if like you actually had conversations with people instead of people getting all fucking bull chested about shit and whatever else. Like even whenever it comes to our shit, capitalism, this capitalism here is not regular free market capitalism. We've gone over that before. This is fucking crony ass bullshit ran by bureaucrats and special interests. That's why we have monopolies, which we shouldn't. That shouldn't be allowed at all, but we have monopolies in this country, and it's all went downhill like big time. Like we are becoming fascistic with our fucking government meeting corporate entities and working together. That's corporatocracy. That's fascism.
There's no reason why.
Anytime you see public-private partnerships.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, sorry. There's no reason. There's no reason why any person who works for the people should have stock or ownership in a company.
No.
There's never a reason why it should. And then they turn around and say, well, Trump's got it. Dude, you own a piece of a company. When you own a stock, you own a piece of that company. So you're owning a piece of the company, and then you're telling somebody else they can't run for president because they own a company. Like you double speak, and then when it comes to you, it's okay because you do this. Like, no, it's not mine. Well, here's the thing, son who owns that.
That would have to be like where the line got drawn, because I personally feel anybody who runs for public office or a public servant should not be able to dabble in the stock market, period.
No,
because but the reason being is because
if you already have stock going in, they can't be able to
sell it.
Do you know
sell it.
You
too
know
bad. Too bad. The reason being is because you can make you make legislation to sway shit. I don't agree with that at all.
What I'm saying is that
Dan Crenshaw, I Patch McCain.
What I'm saying, what if they just can't buy or sell at all? They can't touch it.
Then you don't get to run for office.
See, I don't agree. I don't agree. See, like Jim Rome or whatever those guys.
No, you're making money off the backs of the American people, and you're making more money than you should because you get to make legislation towards shit that can go toward companies that can fuck things up. I'm sorry, but there's no way. It just doesn't make sense.
What if you
Dan
are
Crenshaw
not allowed to,
even said that's the only reason why he's there.
What if you're not allowed to vote on that kind of stuff then for that company?
That's a different story then. That's
so if you have stock in like Tesla or something like that, you're not allowed to vote on electronic on EVs.
That's a different story. Then I can see that. Yeah. But that's like
but you can't buy
right.
No one in your family, your inner circle, like the same thing for bereavement leave. You can only take bereavement leave for certain people. Those people are if they really love you or whatever, those people are not allowed to buy or they're not allowed to buy or sell that stock while you are in government.
See, I can see that too also. Like say something like that, like you have to have a holding period of say your term is 6 years, 4 years, whatever else. I could see that. The reason it's just whatever can knock out swaying things as much as possible. That's what then I would agree with, because like my whole thing is you have too much sway power and do it like Nancy Pelosi has done that too much. So it's fucking Dan Crenshaw. A lot of these motherfuckers have done it. So it's like you guys are in it just for the wrong reasons. Like we need ways to be able to sway these motherfuckers to not be in it for the money and for the right reason.
And then you can't sell it for like 3 years after you get out. So that way, if that fucking stock plunges, that's hey, you believed in that company so much you bought it. Then stay believing in that company after you're out of, you ran for Congress or whatever. You're in there.
Something like that could be all right too. That might be maybe even like a year or two
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're abstained from the vote on anything that has to do with that corporation.
Yeah.
And because these motherfuckers have you want to put Martha Stewart away for insider trading, yet you're sitting there literally making the rules. Like, oh no, listen, I just bought Chevrolet stock last week. It just so happens that this week we're voting on whether or not Congress uses Chevrolet for their new EVs. Like,
right?
Congress no. And then did you see that? And like the bullshit about all that too is that when Twitter got rid of Nancy Pelosi's stock tracker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They should have kept
and
that
you're
bitch.
Like, whoa. That should.
That should be everybody's interest, big time.
Honestly,
it's public record. That's also what's fucked up. That's public record.
Yeah,
you're allowed to know that. So if there's an account that's following that and showing everybody that, once again, she is a government employee. We are allowed to know everything she does. We technically should be allowed to know, minus like where troops are or anything like that. Everything else the government does, we should be allowed to know. It should be on a fucking a banner, everything that they're doing, because that's our money.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. They want to be in our business every time. How about, hey, look here, you fucking you government bitches. When it comes to your $600 or whatever, we want to know every one of your fucking transactions, and you want to know our shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, man.
They forget. And this is what we have to come together and talk about. Not fucking Jason Aldean.
Right.
Fuck Jason Aldean. If he wants to fucking make a song about that, let him make a song about that. Let's get together and talk about how we're getting fucked by the government, and how they're just sitting there and just taking their hands, dabbing it in Astroglide, and just shoving it in whenever they want.
Yeah,
it's like, guys,
I don't even think they're
pulling
using
out
that,
our
man.
money.
Yeah, I don't even think they're using that. They're like they're like barely spitting on it and putting it up there by now. So
look, the Fed just fucking went up another 0.25%. Now it's 5.5. We're all fucked.
Oh yeah, that is right. Yeah, the Fed just raised their interest rates again too, man.
Like, and we're
so everybody out there with your credit card shit going on, yeah,
yeah, and we're sitting here talking about who's more oppressed. You fucking people, Mama J, do you have that video? Now. Do you ain't kidding? The video of the line?
Yeah.
Like, it's coming to. This is what we're gonna have to do in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah, this fucking WorldCoin shit.
Yeah, we were talking about WorldCoin yesterday, and how they were talking about how the CEO of WorldCoin, Sam Altman, was talking about how eventually, to even get on the internet, that everyone's going to have their iris scanned for identification purposes.
I'll be off the internet. Bye.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't see me in a couple years, good knowing you.
Well, obviously, this is in a different country. It may not be Germany. I'm not entirely sure. But it says day 3 of WorldCoin launch. Crazy lines around the world. One person getting verified every 8 seconds now.
Yeah. How?
I feel like when we see this stuff going on in different countries, like people in line for something like that, it's because their country has been so... They have adapted to digital currency and digital profiles, like your digital self, so seamlessly that people are like, oh, well, for me to, get a train ticket or to do this, I need to have the government app. I need to do this and that.
It's fucking
and stuff. And
wild.
It hasn't gotten to us like that yet. Entirely.
It has, but here's the difference that I think, though, too. And I agree with what you're saying, but here's what I also see in the back of my mind. It is wild. Eastern to Western thinking about how they really don't fight a lot of shit until the very end. Like France is starting to, other countries are. It's like, you guys haven't fought a lot until the very end. You guys keep wanting to talk about how we have guns, but people are stabbing motherfuckers at the park and shit in your country. Like, it's no better. So don't give me that when it comes to that shit. But like when it comes to all this government stuff and everything else, like, what happened? Why are you guys just okay with it? I don't get it. I don't get the control to being okay with like them being in your life. I don't get the wanting of the safety. I really don't. It really is that difference of the Eastern and Western thinking for me. I just do not understand it at all.
But because they don't have the Constitution like we have.
Right. Well, the Western thinking has broke down big time too, because whenever I posted that on Twitter, look up at Biz Party Podcast on Twitter. I have it pinned on my profile now. The Yuri Bezmenov circa 1984, when he's talking about demoralization, we're almost there. Like with our thinking, with how weak these couple of past generations are, to where like how just extremely weak they are, where we've been demoralized so much that it's like we can't. We have so many motherfuckers, like even that would have been completely for the Constitution, just breaking down and not even wanting the Second Amendment to be that good anymore. And like they don't think that governments are that nefarious to where they'll be that in your life so much, or they can kill people or stuff. It's wild to me. Yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Did you want me to play any of it?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process, which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages.
This is the main part.
The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology.
And how long has that been going on in colleges?
Of at least 3 generations of American students, without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already.
This is in 84 when he's saying this.
Actually, it's overfulfilled because demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before,
lack of moral standards. That's a big thing. That's a big thing, like the lack of moral standards and like how everything's been broken down. Like, and he said the bringing in these ideas and completely throwing off American patriotism, and none of this shit has been fought against since it's been brought in, this Leninism, Marxism, and it's just been fed into the colleges, because university is where you are supposed to go, where you have your higher education, right? Well, where do you want to infiltrate? Where's the long game? You know,
the kids,
the long march through the institutions, as is said in most communist manifestos, you know, like
that's why they're going after the kids, because it just, you know, they start them young, and they start to, you know, that whole like daddy government fucking govern me harder thing, you know. Well, the government's supposed to give me this. No, if you don't have the money to give the government doesn't give you shit. And that was another thing that, you know, was somebody was talking about. Like, they were talking about the schools and stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, how come in the poor neighborhoods the schools suck? And it's like, because the schools are paid by your tax dollars. If you have tax dollars not going into the schools, if you don't have tax dollars going into the town, there's no money to go to the schools. And if the rich neighborhoods have the money to give to the tax man, then the schools are better. So it's not fair. But you live in a poor town, you live in a poor community, your schools aren't going to be great. You're going to have a little house on the prairie fucking school where the kids are going to walk to school every day and bring their bag lunches with them, you know, or you have a big, giant, you know, rich town where the school is immaculate and their football field is the size of a regular stadium, and but that's what kind of country we live in. You can go to another country like China, and they'll give you everything, and you can work and get nothing, and then they'll take care of you, and then everybody in the upper echelons. That's why you talk about, Marxism and communism don't work, because the people with the money, they're the ones with the power, and they're the ones that go, here, this is what you get.
Well, that's what I think is funny whenever I meet anarcho-communists. Well, you think the government's just going to go away and you're going to be able to do communism?
But then,
yeah, because everyone's just going to divide their shit up evenly. It's just going to happen.
What is it? When it was the Chaz Chop zone, right? Remember when Chaz Chop happened? And they're like, yeah, anarcho-communists. We have our victory gardens, pretty much. They're segregated gardens. And then within 2 days, they had a freaking mafioso almost happen. And the guy and 2 kids ended up getting killed.
It was like District 9.
A few days.
Right.
It was like the movie District 9. All of a sudden, everybody's wants to be the top dog. Yeah, that's what happens. You need some kind of law and order, and just telling people, yeah, let's move to Japan.
Yeah, should have moved to Japan. Fuck no. I am not going there.
But yeah, listen, what's wrong with people? Because they will sabotage themselves, and people want power. And everybody who tells you they don't want power when they're in that kind of situation is just lying to get the fucking power. Tony Montana. It was said in Scarface. First you get the money.
There's a huge push for the collectivist mindset. And that's why you're seeing now on both sides that if you have someone in your group who steps a toe out of line of what the company,
toe the company line.
Yeah, whatever. I can't talk today. But
your ankle hurts. It's your ankle.
Yeah, it's my ankle.
It's radiating from your ankle to your head.
But you see it on both sides, though, that if you don't toe the company line, then they throw you out to the wolves, and they'll call you any phobe thing or whatever. So it's like bullying people into this collective mindset to kind of almost try to tamp down on the human condition is what they're doing. It's all manipulative.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all psychological.
The fact that I want to keep my money instead of giving it, either to Ukraine or higher taxes that don't go to anything, because we seem to keep going into debt. When I talk to a socialist or somebody else, I'm a piece of shit, and I'm a fucking completely selfish motherfucker, and I don't care about anybody then, because I have rugged individualism, and I care more about my family than fucking millions of people who do not fucking know me and blah blah, and want to give my shit to other. It's ridiculous how fucking much they try to demoralize you.
Yeah.
Would you save? Here's the thing: would you save one of your family members or five people you don't know?
What?
Ask that to a socialist. Would you save one of your own family members? Okay, I'm sorry. A train track. If there's the train track scenario, if one of your family members was tied to a train track, or 5 strangers you didn't know, which one are you going to save?
First one is my family member automatically. I don't care what anyone says.
So then you just care about your surrounding and yourself, and that's what they would probably say.
Who I know it. If I rescue those
test,
right?
That the leftists use on whether or not you're a good person or not.
Right. Yeah, but guess what? I could be a good person and save 5 of these other people, and one of them could stab me in the back as soon as I untie that motherfucker. He's a piece of shit. Yeah. I don't know who he is.
Well, that's what we said when they asked this question. What they don't tell you is that the 5 are pedophiles.
Yeah, exactly.
The 5 are murderers.
Yeah.
It's 4 regular people and 1 murderer. Who you gonna untie first? You have no fucking idea.
Right. Now I'm going for my fam, dog.
Yeah. but it's that way, and you know, people just don't want to admit it. They think that everybody. And here's the thing: I don't know if I said it here, but like, when you get those checks from the government, what happens? What happens if you go, okay, we'll do socialism? What happens now when they come to collect the check from you?
Exactly.
What happens when now all of a sudden you go, okay, the government goes, okay, you know all those checks we've given you? Now you go fight in Ukraine.
Well, and here's the thing, and I will segue into off of that exactly with like how she said, let's go to Japan, which her mom's Japanese. That's my girlfriend, by the way, in the comments. Her mom's Japanese. She's half Japanese, and like she wouldn't mind going there and stuff. But the only reason why I would rather stay here than anywhere else is the fact that I'm allowed to defend myself with guns, no matter what.
Listen, everybody there got chopsticks, don't they? That's it. Chopsticks and samurai swords.
I ain't catching flies. I'm fucking sending bullets. That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing. Like with around here, segueing into what you're saying. If they come to collect, I'm about to text that ass myself.
Yeah.
So it's like there's certain things where we are able to do certain things here, and you're right. Also in that comment is no, we aren't being treated like humans anymore half the time. We are being treated like cattle here anymore, even in the US, no matter what, because our government is getting so big, it's getting so convoluted that you can't fucking pay attention. They suck all your shit up and they send it to all these other fucking countries, keep raising our debt. And I guarantee by the time it comes around to the next president, we're going to be up to fucking like 36 trillion.
You know what they're going to do? This is what I think is going to happen. They're going to jack up this economy so fucking bad, right? Then they're gonna let Trump win, and then they're gonna do the same thing that they did when the pandemic, and make it his fault. And then when the next 2028 election, they're gonna go, look at what Trump did. Look at how bad this economy is. He got this. He didn't inherit this. This wasn't Biden's fault. This was his fault. And like, it's like, wait a minute, hold the fuck up, like. No, you guys are doing this way before. No. And then you're going to get everybody around going, no, this is Trump's fault. Trump ruined the economy. Look how bad it is. People are just, and it's just
there's plenty of people.
It's going to be like 6 months. It's going to be like 2 months before he gets in office.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's still people who constantly say he's the one who inflated the economy and Biden's bringing it down. No, he partially did, but not as much as what's happened.
Listen,
after.
Once again, he doesn't hold the purse.
Right.
Congress holds the purse. Congress is the one who made the laws. They agreed. Both fucking sides agreed. Even though a lot of the people on one side were just like, hey, maybe that's not a good idea. But they were like, no.
Thomas Massey.
Yeah. Exactly. And then people were like, no, just give them some money. How about you just let us not fucking pay taxes for a little while and let us get it back on our feet? No, that was too hard. What we're going to do is we're going to collect all this money and then we're going to give you $600 back. Because that makes more fucking sense.
Did you say something like that? The government looks in their own wallet like, nah, we ain't doing that.
It baffles me. It baffles me how people can just be so dumb. The same government that goes, hey, you know all that money we took out of your paycheck? You didn't pay enough. Right. So guess what? You're going to do the math. Why do you think Hunter owes 1.1 billion to 1.5 million to 1.1 million, whatever it is? We have no idea. We have no idea how much money he owes. Like, it could be between this and this.
He sold so much artwork, he couldn't keep the money straight.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Mama Jay? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
She's like, I don't even know.
No.
Hold on, wait. Well, we had a subject going on.
Yeah. Well, I know Tim Pool brought this up the other day, but I actually agree with him on this. And sometimes I don't fully agree with him. I'm just like, it's the middle of the summer. Your bald head must be sweating. Like, take off.
No, it's 9 degrees in that fucking studio.
He's
probably
always wearing that fucking thing, man.
It's 9 degrees. It's his thing. That's his like.
Yeah, well, I will say I have seen pictures of him without it, and just like, yeah, it does make you look older. He looks younger with the beanie on.
You ever see somebody every day with a hat on, and then or like glasses on, and then you see them once without a hat or glasses, and you're like, who the fuck is that?
My fucking foreman at work, if he's wearing his hat and shit, he just looks like a normal dude. As soon as he takes it off, he's George Costanza. He's got the fucking the exact hair and everything. I swear to God.
It's the guy at my job too. He comes in one day without a hat, and I go, "Who the fuck are you?" He goes, I was like, "Wait a minute, is that? Oh shit! Hey, I didn't notice you without a hat on. Like, it's two totally different people." And it's just like, yeah. But
oh, so no, what I was saying about that is he was talking about how talking about DeSantis voters are like cheerleaders and Trump people, and how a lot of people bring up, oh well, Trump and Operation Warp Speed and stuff. And what he was saying, and it makes sense, like, so you expected the government not to do anything. Like, that's what the people expect. It, like, you would feel better if he didn't do anything during that whole time.
Yeah.
And what people need to understand, he wasn't the one that implemented or wanted mandates for any vaccines or anything like that.
Yeah, but they'll make you think that he was the one who wanted to put a vaccine in everybody's body. And at the same time, the same people who didn't want it were like sitting there going, I'm not putting that shit in my veins. If Trump's doing it, I'm not fucking doing it. And all of a sudden Biden gets into office and it's like, you better get your vaccine or else you're going to kill everybody.
Right.
Or else you're going to kill everybody. You're a piece of shit if you don't get the vaccine. You're like, wait a minute. Weren't you saying 6 months ago you weren't taking shit?
Oh, yeah. Kamala Harris herself said, I'm not trusting if it's from Trump. And then as soon as it gets in, shove this shit right in your motherfucking veins, dog. Let's do this.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just random because you guys were talking about that, and I had a whole line web of thinking, and I can't.
Yeah,
my
it happens.
Hurts.
Yeah. How many times have I just been like, what was I talking about? What was I saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of not knowing where or what's happening, this is kind of a crazy thing that happened. So anyone who didn't hear, he already does right there. Yeah. That's from the very beginning.
Too old. Stop voting them in. Get them the fuck out. Stop voting for these fucking people.
We don't know exactly what happened with Mr. Turtle Mitch McConnell here.
Yeah.
But
well, didn't he? Is it like honestly? Did he just come back from what he fell and had really bad head injury?
That did happen.
He looks like he's looking at the Grim Reaper, like on Family Guy when the Grim Reaper's like walking around. Yeah. That's what he looks. He's like,
right.
Well, I mean, he was in the hospital the same time that Dianne Feinstein was out for shingles, and Chunk was in
Chunk
the hospital. So bad.
Baby Ruth. You got the fucking hold on, what is it?
Hi, good night, everybody.
Yeah, he was in the hospital for depression. I still, honestly, as much as I feel bad, I don't feel bad.
I don't.
For that.
I don't either.
They should, for any of them. I don't feel bad for any of them. They're in their fucking. They were born during the fucking Great Depression. They don't need to still be making decisions for us.
I think it's a right for people to have bad calf care.
Still don't know what bad calf care is, but the more I think about it, shit now.
The more I think about it, Corn Pop was the good guy in that story.
Right. But, all right, yeah, anyone who doesn't know what happened with McConnell here, he froze the fuck up for some reason, and I kind of think it might have been a stroke deal. I'm not sure, but let's find...
You think Adam made that lectern?
Maybe. Yes.
He looks really bad.
Yeah.
This is sad. I can't watch stuff like that. Like... Stop.
But you would have figured after the first few seconds when he was like that, I would have came up faster than that. Because he was just... Yeah, he has no idea. He left the planet.
Dude, he was gone.
He just... I mean, the guy... literally not too long ago fell and had a major head injury.
Right.
Like, but I know I'm the only one that remembers this. But
no, I remember he did. But the whole thing is, though, too, is as Davey said, stop voting for these geriatric fucks. Like, we all need to stop voting for them. Anytime you get somebody in there that's like over 60, be like, probably not. How about no? How about we get somebody younger?
Dude, if I'm
not gonna lie, my mom is gonna be 60 and she's pretty spry, so she's looking.
She's not running our government.
Yeah, but she's also not.
She's just relaxing and chilling.
She could do better.
She probably could. She probably could because she hasn't been a sociopath her entire life, like most of these other assholes have.
I have to say, one of my favorite Congress people is Hegman from. Where is she from?
Texas.
Oh no!
Oh, is that the one that you showed?
No,
the one that you sent us on Twitter.
Wyoming. She's from Wyoming. I don't know.
Wyoming.
Harriet. Her name is Harriet. Hegman. I don't know why. Every time I see that lady, I think she's awesome. Got awesome jewelry.
Actually, play this clip. This is
today for your performance. I have watched with absolute fascination
as restart
you have danced and dodged and. Mr. Mayorkas, I actually really want to thank you as well for coming here today for your performance. I have watched with absolute fascination as you have danced and dodged and lied. Yes, lied. We know you've lied. You know you've lied. But more importantly, the American public knows that you lied throughout your testimony today. And yet you believe that you and your fellow architects of the censorship industrial complex think that you should be able to determine what is and isn't true and what is and isn't untrue. You are the walking, talking epitome of the very tyrant that our forefathers recognized would gravitate towards government service. And it is because of people like you that they drafted the First Amendment.
He's a snake in the grass.
I thank them for their foresight. I thank them for recognizing that you and people like you would do everything in your power to control speech, to control freedom, to take away our rights. And they've written a document that isn't going to allow you to do that. Unfortunately, we still have courts and judges who recognize that you don't have the power that you are attempting to take, that you do not have the right to limit our freedom of speech, our freedom of association, our right to communicate. Thank God we have the First Amendment so that we can stop you from doing what you've been doing. With that, I yield back.
Bitch! That was awesome.
I think that she should be the next VP. I don't know why. I honestly, I've watched her in a lot of these hearings and stuff like that, and I was just like, you know what? I like her style.
She doesn't take no shit. She's straight for the Constitution. She's right on.
And she matches everything. Her glasses,
I know.
Purple as
I
fuck.
like how her fingernails match her lipstick. Like,
dude, I don't know what they shove in these guys. I have an idea. But
where's this conversation gonna go?
But they all have
what
the
they shove in these
same
guys.
shit-eating fucking grin. Like, look at this pompous jerk off. This is a pompous jerk off right here. Okay, just Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey, the man who was a Democrat. Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey switched from Democrat to Republican because he was tired of their bullshit.
Inevitable conclusion that I do not take lightly. Secretary Mayorkas, you must resign. Will you resign?
No, I will not. I am incredibly proud of the work that is performed.
I understand.
In the Department of
Secretary Mayorkas, if you will not
He's
resign,
like, I don't fucking care.
That leaves us with no other option. You should be impeached. And I yield back to the chairman.
And you see, he does that rocking motion too.
Mm-hmm.
That other jerk off did, and it's like they just. It's just
wait, hon.
What?
Well, what about this one? Did you guys see
this
this?
fucking psycho in the background.
This freaked me out.
Yeah. She took a fucking hit a fucking universe crack or something like.
You ever see John Mayer play the guitar? That's what she's doing. John Mayer does this like face thing when he plays the guitar. She's trying to. If you look at her, she's remembering she's doing the speech that she's reading in her head and trying to get to her and give her the thing. That's what she's doing. But she looks fucking cracked out of her. She
looks crazy as
well,
fuck. Yeah.
That video was horrible. There's better ones out there, but before she puts her hand over her mouth and stuff, she is like mouthing every single word that Plaskett, that lady drives me nuts, is saying. And then she realizes, like, oh shit, the cameras are there. And then she's like, oh, covering her mouth. And then, yeah,
she looks nuts.
Yeah.
And
like, that's what Adderall will do to you.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Maybe it was her. No.
Yeah, maybe it was her cocaine in the White House.
And that's why I think
all the staffers had a late night one night.
They're saying that Vivek is now almost tied with DeSantis.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised either.
He's resonating with people. He's all over the place, man. He's all over the place, and I mean, I believe he's true to what he's saying, and. If he comes out of nowhere, dude, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be cool.
That would be amazing.
But, I have my doubts, but
yeah, we'll see. We'll get more into that soon enough because I want to do that. Start talking about the candidates as they're coming.
That's all I'm saying.
We'll see. But on that note, we're about toward the end. Anything else anybody wants to mention or any of that jazz?
Just
that's about it.
Follow us on Twitter at Biz Party Podcast because we're going to start doing stuff there.
Yeah, we want to start doing more shit there. I am going to start putting up, I mean, even though you guys already listen here, I'm going to start putting up full episodes there too. And if we can get to 500 followers, try to push us over there if you can, get us up to 500 followers. Because then we can monetize there. And we can also post shit there that we can't post other places because I mean, yeah, people keep saying that whatever with Twitter is still being somewhat censored, but I think that's regular posts. I don't know how much they listen to videos and whatnot, but we'll post shit there that like we were trying to do Patreon wise. Who knows all that? I would rather try and do it on Twitter.
I'd rather get a paycheck from Elon.
Yeah, right.
Elon, pay us, Elon.
Exactly.
Like those fucking, like you paid those fucking crotch goblin fucking Krasensteins.
Donald Trump is not a good guy. What do you guys think?
Dude, who fucking do you guys stick? I think the Island Boys, you see them kiss?
Oh, geez,
holy shit. I think the Krasenstein brothers do that every night before they go to their fucking bunk beds. Yeah, I think before they go to they like separate, they go give each other a mouth kiss, and then they go to their rooms with their wives.
Well, that's what's funny. Like when I saw that with the Island Boys, it's really fucking weird, and like I don't know what they're doing, but I was like, also, whenever you guys look like doodle pads, you're probably just gonna end up fucking each other. So I mean,
they did. They've been doing it since they were kids. They're like, yeah, what do we do with this thing? Hey, I got a hole here. Why don't you stick that in there? Oh, that feels good. Sorry. I just, Mama J's eyes just went, buh.
Like, what the fuck? But yeah, on that note,
on that note, you can find me at MW Troublemaker on Twitter, and all my links are in there. The Business Party Network, Dive Bar News, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully soon things will calm down in my life where I'll be able to get to put stuff out there. But yeah, it's kind of crazy life,
right on.
That's life.
That's life.
Yeah.
Life is life.
That's life.
But
yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Suburban Mama 1 Suburban Mama 1 on the Twitters.
Yep.
So and then you can find Scott and I tomorrow on Rumble at the 2 Jacks 1 Scotch podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Pacific. Oh, and also you can find me at the We Don't Know Either podcast on Fridays with Kelly. She has the password and information to get into that Twitter account. So she's taking it to full advantage and just making fun of everything about me. So if you wanna see
that is very true.
she is just going ham on me. But yeah, and then you can catch me and Mama J on Sunday at Weekend Hangover, where just end your week with us talking about reality TV. Grab your wine glass, grab your beer, and just join us as we talk about reality TV. It's going to get better. It's going to be more sunshiny this week. We're going to talk about Vanderpump Rules and Below Deck, and give us suggestions of what we should also watch after that, because it's just a calm, cool, relaxing Sunday. Your week's about to start. Your week's over. Just join us. And follow us on Rumble so we can go live on Rumble, you fuckers.
There you go.
Yes.
And Scott_Kriglow on all the shit. You can find me there. But beyond that, I wish I would quit having loud ass cars fly past my apartment today. Like you've having to hit mute. Like every other vehicle's like.
Scotty just wants to get out because he wants to just grab his girl. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to grab his girl and just hold her. He's like, all right, guys, gotta go. It's time to go.
Oh, if she was here, then yes. But,
yeah.
But she's not, so I'm gonna be holding myself. And on that note, hope you all have a good night. And fuck the moon. We're going to Uranus.
Woo!
Love y'all. See you next week.